Krishna Prishtaya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaste. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Jai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Gopal Hari Nam Sankirtan ki Srila Prabhupada ki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvannmelitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I am just going to show you a short PPT. You can show this to them. You can show this, yeah. Prabhu, you all are able to see it clearly?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's not too small, no? It's not too small, no?
No. We are able to
Okay.
We are able to see. Font is good, Prabhu.
Okay. So this is direct and indirect preaching. See, the first topic is wedding science and religion. Wedding Jiva and Krishna. I am only going to show you some part of it. In that I have written 4 topics I have written, if you see. Breakthrough, knocking a jiva from material orbit to spiritual orbit. Because everybody is in material orbit in this world. How to bring them from material orbit to spiritual orbit. And bridge means bridging the gap topics, which means we should package Krishna consciousness attractively in such a way that people would like to come to Krishna's side. Just like imagine there's a bridge. This bridge, this side is, non-devotees or whatever. This side is devotees. One side devotees, one side non-devotees. Say scientists, atheistic scientists are this side. This side devotees are that. There's a bridge between the two. So devotees are playing mridangam and singing and dancing, and they're slowly climbing on the bridge, going up to the middle of the bridge. And these people are saying, hey, these guys are very happy. Let us see, what are they up to? So they also come here to the middle. And then there is a conversation between the two. And devotees take a U-turn and go back from where they came. Some of these fellows also will go with them. That's called bridge preaching. Bridge preaching means we present what we have and they present their arguments, and some of them become convinced and then go with the devotees, and that's how our movement expands more and more. It shouldn't happen that some of the devotees who came here went with those fellows. That shouldn't happen. So therefore, many of you are going to colleges and you are giving bridge preaching, which means you may do OTP, one-time programs for the people, by which you are bringing some new people into Krishna's fold, the movement of Krishna. That is called bridge preaching. And breakthrough means, if somebody is completely into material orbit, there are various topics we can talk to them, bridge topics, by which they'll get inspired to come to spiritual orbit. Can some of you say some of those themes? I will give you 1 or 2 examples, you can say more. For example, the harm involved in non-vegetarian eating versus the benefits of sattvic eating. This is one topic. Now, can you give other examples? What inspires the non-devotees to consider, taking, spiritual orbit as a better alternative?
Dressing pattern, what we follow in our materialistic or corporate world, and the dressing pattern, what we have in our spiritual circles.
What is the dressing pattern? What is it? The
dressing pattern, jeans, torn jeans, or collarless t-shirts.
Okay. So when they see the devotees in dhoti kurta, they feel, they are wearing very light and they are happy. Or Mataji is wearing saris. Okay. But sometimes they have a little reservation also for our dress. They feel that these people look awkward, they are different from us. They may think like that. That is also a possibility, isn't it? Anything else that appeals to the mind of the newcomers?
Yes,
For happiness on the face, Prabhu.
Okay.
Our
Happiness itself is preaching. Yeah,
how content we are, how content we are.
How content we are, how happy we are, how content we are. Okay,
how
thank
happy
you.
we are. Yeah.
Yes.
Dealings with each other.
Yeah?
Our dealings with each other.
Dealings, yeah. Our devotee is very patient and tolerant and humble and polite and good behavior. Is very appealing to the minds of the newcomers. That's true, yeah. So the dealings also, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Simplistic thinking, Prabhuji.
Simplicity? Yeah.
Simplicity.
Simplicity also, yeah. That's true, yeah. That's also very appealing.
See, one more topic is,
Sometimes a devotee is
about,
highly qualified. A devotee may be highly qualified, but they may be very simple, externally speaking. So they are amazed how this person is materially so well off, but when he comes to temple, he is so simple. He is in such a big industry or a company, and he is wearing dhoti kurta, and his wife is wearing sari. They are very simple people. And yeah, simplicity is a good point also. Yeah. Yes.
Cow awareness, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Gomata awareness.
Yeah, awareness of Gomata. Yeah, many of the people nowadays, modern day people are, trying to go close to farm, and and like I saw one boy with a T-shirt. He said, "Live echo, leave ego." That was, he was wearing a T-shirt. Live echo and leave ego. I think he's reflecting proper. That's what is the modern day people's expectation now. Everybody want to live eco-friendly. Like my spiritual master said, we are all looking for eco-friendly relationship and eco-friendly environment and ego-friendly relationships. He said. So people want environment to be eco-friendly and relationships to be ego-friendly. So because devotees are ego-friendly in relationship, they don't tamper with the ego of others. People feel very nice. Hey, devotees are very good people. They're very respectful, polite, well-behaved. They feel nice. Yes. There are two more hands up. Please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, one topic that really makes people realize is what happens after death. A lot of people think this is a life that we enjoy and we are done, and that's the most philosophy talk about. But when we say post-death, what happens, that will connect them with evidences to the philosophy that we have.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, even in America, when I was in Stanford, there were 90 students, 40, 50 were Western bodied. So I had given the topic reincarnation, fact or fiction. So after my talk, I spoke for an hour, and another 1 hour they were asking so many questions. People are very interested to know what is the soul and how does it survive death and where does it go? What is karma? When can we get good luck? What brings bad luck? Many people are interested. It's a very good topic it is. And this topic is becoming more and more prominently accepted worldwide. People are thinking, yes, that is true. Yeah, people, because devotees know about it, many newcomers are also interested. Yeah, thank you. There are more hands. Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my obeisance. One thing which I observed, Prabhuji, like most Matajis are very find Krishna consciousness very appealing because it gives them a sense of how to kind of groom the children, bring children up with values. Raising so children, that is something which actually draws them to Krishna consciousness.
Correct. Raising children with values because they see Krishna conscious children with so much good values. Then they are tempted, let me also go to this program, let me train my children like that. So along with the children, they will also become devotees. That's true, yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There are two more hands up. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So when we refer to some scriptures or when we refer to Bhagavad Gita and connect our daily issues and so that are there and how we can connect to what are the teachings from Bhagavad Gita, that really inspires people and really, because I can say like most of them, and including me, would not have actually seen or looked at scriptures until now, and they are really thinking that this is what is available, and they really wonder that how you are developing that kind of a knowledge and also that connection to the real world situations to Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, that's a very important point. Sunil Prabhu has brought, the relevance of Bhagavad Gita to our everyday life. For example, Bhagavad Gita talks about 3 types of food. Food in goodness, passion and ignorance. What are the healthy foods? What are unhealthy foods? Bhagavad Gita talks about that. And Bhagavad Gita talks about how anger, lust and greed are harmful viruses in our mind, and how in the modern times the lust is coming out as gang rapes and greed is coming out as money scandals, scams, and anger is coming out as murders and criminal activities. So Gita talks about erasing these 3 inner impurities which are like viruses in our system, and how the chanting of the holy name can. So many people see that, the scriptures have a lot of relevance to our day-to-day problems in this world. They are not up there like the clouds in the sky. They are right now and here applicable in our daily life. Like for example, every one of you working in the office, you want to learn to manage your temper. You want to manage your emotions and not blurt out anything. And that is taught in Bhagavad Gita. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam prehi samtayat. Gita, Krishna teaches there are 5 elements of, proper speech. He teaches that. So they find that, Gita teaches us how we should behave in our workplace, with our colleagues, with our juniors, with our seniors. So this is a very important thing what Sunil Prabhu brought out, that anybody who can bring the Shastric relevance to day-to-day life, that is very much of interest to the people. Like people are talking about relationships, people are talking about good health, people are talking about friendships, people are talking about managing one's emotions. People are very much concerned about, how to harness our mind. People are also interested to know how should I behave in a given situation. How should I make decisions in life? So these are all things people are thinking of. If you can bring Shastra to the level of helping people with these problems on a day-to-day level, they will appreciate it very much. Thank you. Some more hands are up. Please go ahead.
Krishna Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
And well?
Prabhuji, when I interacted with students and professionals, most of the time they say about the time management, how you get time to, pray and all these activities. So I think a lot of people I heard how they can allocate time for these devotional activities. That's the main question.
This is the number one topic everybody is looking for. First they want to know about time management, then they want to know about priority management. Because there are too many priorities now, which are too good to give up for many people. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, that's an important topic it is. Yeah. And then there is one more hand up. Anybody?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So one of the things that I always, people asked me, when you were able to demonstrate being content, and then, the service attitude, if you are able, people get amazed, how can you be content and how can you be able to serve so much? Those are the two things that people also get attracted, puzzled on.
Yeah.
How is it being possible? Basically.
Exactly. Because modern day society is a I, me, mine society, which is extremely greedy also. To be completely self-satisfied. That's very true. It's very rare to find. So when people see it, they are amazed, and that draws them also. They also want to learn how to be contented. Very, very true. Especially in the modern day society when salary packages are doubling and tripling now everywhere. People are making a lot of money. To be contented is rare. Thank you. There's one last hand up there. Yeah, yes, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I think Sunil Prabhu just now has mentioned the knowledge and then the clarity that brings it in our lives, Prabhuji. That is what I see. People are very much amazed.
Yes, knowledge and the clarity. Yeah, very good.
The clarity that it brings in our lives. Because there are a lot of questions always, and people find difficult to have really the answers. And when we really relate our day-to-day life activities with what we learn from the scriptures, this is what actually I see. People are really amazed.
Exactly. And Prabhupada's books are so enlightening and giving answers to some of the most difficult questions in life. And they are very, very subtle and deep, and deeper and deeper and deeper. So much as you study Gita, Bhagavatam, and CC, you can practically answer any question under the sun. That's true. Yeah, thank you. That was good. So, as you saw here, I have shown you 4 things here: the breakthrough, knocking a jiva from material to spiritual orbit, and bridge the gap topics, and package means suitable impact themes from Prabhupada purports for different audiences. What would be a particular theme, from Prabhupada purports you can draw for different type of audience who are seeking different things. So we have to package it and give them. One example I'll tell you. When once we put a book table, the books are going very slow. Sometimes in 2-3 hours, we could sell 10 or 20 books sometimes. Next day we did a new idea. We packed 5 books in one gift pack very nicely with a nice golden ribbon, colorful paper. And then outside we put a small card, gift pack, like that we wrote. So then we kept all those packs in the table, and that went like hotcakes. It went like hotcakes. Immediately, 40-50 packets went in a very short time. So the reason is very simple. When you have an attractive package, people don't even mind what is inside many times. They just thought that looks like a nice package. I can just write somebody's name and give it as a birthday gift. That's how they took it. So Krishna consciousness is very wonderful. At the same time, it should be packaged in a way that different audiences can relate with it. We will talk about that also. And then approach. Should you take a conservative approach or liberal approach while dealing with new people? So these 4 things we will see now. Let's go from the breakthrough. Yeah. See, for us to be able to bring a jiva out of the material orbit to go to spiritual orbit, we need 3 things: preaching with knowledge, conviction, and compassion. See, Srila Prabhupada, he presented with such amazing knowledge, with such conviction, it really touched everyone around. You can see how the devotees are drawn into the discussion with Prabhupada. At the same time, he was very compassionate also. Conviction did not make him hard-hearted. He was also very compassionate. And he was like a great ocean of knowledge, agada bodham. The word is used in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you talk about what knowledge that we all should cultivate as preachers, this is the very first thing. Proprietorship, controllership, enjoyership of oneself is actually the impurity in our heart. So actually Krishna is the owner of everything. Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So these three are repeatedly repeating themes in the scriptures. Isha vasyamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. That verse talks about Ishtavasyamidam sarvam. Everything is owned by the Supreme Lord. Nobody can touch anything without His sanction, without His permission. So that is ownership. But in this world, there is a competition for ownership. Can somebody give an example for it? That ownership is Krishna. Krishna is the real owner. But there is a competition for ownership. Can you give some examples?
For example, oil, Prabhuji.
For example?
For oil, countries fight for the oil.
Okay. Countries are fighting for oil. That is true.
Countries are fighting for ocean, even for ocean boundaries. They're trying to make it now these days.
Yeah.
China
is fighting for even the ocean. Okay.
Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kaveri.
Okay.
Prabhu, just Hare Krishna. Just asking for more salary is itself, trying to own more of the world, basically.
Of course, that also comes under greed. It comes under greed. You see, when you talk about ownership, you can start from a small level and then go to a larger level. For example, there is a competition, for claiming proprietorship. Even for a veranda, when there are two houses and there is a common veranda, there is a fight even for that. Our space, your space. Similarly, you find there is a competition between, like you all said the example, one country and the neighborhood country, like Ukraine and Russia war, now currently going on. Now Russia wants to say, we will own you, we will possess you. But then America says, we will supply you weapons. So we will possess you. So both are in a possessing mode or owning mode, like that. You can see that. Same, and Alexander wanted to own the whole world. Hiranyakashipu wanted to not only own the earth, he wanted to own the upper, middle and lower planetary systems. Everything wanted to own. Bali Maharaj had already usurped the property of the Devatas, and he was sitting on the Indra's throne. And in this way, Bali Maharaj actually had usurped ownership of the Devatas. You can see that. Sometimes there is even a competition between people in a simple place, like in a train. I saw once one fellow put a kerchief from the window to catch a seat. When everybody else barged and pushed into the train and came in, one fellow saw the kerchief in the window seat and he threw the kerchief away and he sat there. So the kerchief wala owner came there and said, hey, where is my kerchief? He said, that is down, take it. He said, no, I caught this place. He said, no, you can't put from the window. Catching place means you have to come from the door, not from the window. He was arguing. Both had a heated fight. Both of them stood up. Initially, they were yelling. They were increasing their volume. They caught each other's collar. They slapped and punched. And that seat was empty. Nobody dared to sit there. They thought, we will also get beaten up. Nobody sat. But after 3 stations, both of them got down. And there was nobody sitting in the seat. So you can see in this world, there is a competition for ownership. Who will own what? So, and also smaller companies are swallowed by bigger companies, correct? You can see that also. People want to swallow the small companies and be a big owner, have monopoly over the market. That's also ownership. So you will see that like one shopping mall comes, huge shopping mall comes in one entire lane. And after the shopping mall comes, you find they're selling from potato to gold, everything. And all the small shops have to close down and go. Why? Because the small shops think that, we are selling potato at 40 rupees, they are selling it at 20 rupees. But after all the shops are closed, the shopping mall will make potato 100 rupees. Because now they have monopoly in the market. These are all examples of People trying to be a singular owner. Krishna is a singular owner of everything. So just like I explained about ownership, we can explain about other things also, controllership or enjoyership. If you read Prabhupada's books, many examples Prabhupada gives from day-to-day examples. Everybody, like you can see, when we are not Krishna conscious, we are more in a controlling mode. When we are Krishna conscious, we are more in a serving mode. Like you can tell me, when children get into a controlling mode, what they can do? Anybody?
They want more, Prabhu.
They want more.
They fight with their siblings for toys.
Yeah, they fight.
Yeah, they fight for this is my toy, or I want all the toys myself. They want complete control. They want to control the other children. They want to control the parents also. They want to control teacher. They want to control everybody. So that's controllership. Now, like for example, British came to India and they wanted to take control of the entire India's wealth as well as Indian people also. Similarly, blacks and whites. Whites want to control the blacks. Germans want to control the Jews. It's called as dominating nature or a bossing over nature. Bossing over nature. Like in America, you may be knowing, one black was caught by a white officer. He kept this black man between his two legs. You know that? I think it was probably 2 years ago.
He became unconscious.
He got choked and he became unconscious. He died also, no?
Yes.
So when he died, it became a big matter in the paper. They said the whites have killed the blacks. That kind of thing, it came up. Because of this controllership mentality has been there before. Similarly, the enjoyership. Hiranyakashipu is the example for enjoyership. He wanted to sit on the throne of Indra and drink liquor. His eyes were rolling. He wanted to control. Actually, enjoyership is a superlative degree. If you see ownership, controllership, enjoyership is the ultimate one. When you own something and control it, like see, this is ownership. I want to own. And controllership means I want to control. And enjoyment means I want to enjoy. It's like that. That's what the jiva wants to do in this world. But actually, who is the supreme enjoyer? He says, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. Krishna is supreme enjoyer. But the jiva wants to enjoy. So, now, in the world, on a practical level, how do you see people want to enjoy? Enjoyership, how do you see that? What is the opposite of enjoying? Serving.
Giving.
So in Ramayana, what is the example for enjoying and serving?
Ravana is the example for enjoyment and serving. Was
Lakshman.
Hanuman.
Correct. That's true, yeah. Similarly, Mahabharata, who is in enjoying mood?
Duryodhana and Duryodhana.
Yeah. Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, these people are in exploiting and enjoying mood. Whereas you will see Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandavas, they were aligned with the Lord and they were submissive to Lord's plan. You will see that. So this enjoyership can be seen, when we study the scriptures, we can see that. For example, Rama was supposed to become the king. Dasharatha had already finalized it. But who wanted to take that enjoyership position? Kaikeyi wanted to take it. Kaikeyi said, my son will rule the kingdom so that I can become the supreme enjoyer. And she sent Lord Ram far away. When we want to become enjoyer, we send Ram far away into the forest. And then on the other hand, when Bharat went to forest, he didn't want to be enjoyer. He wanted to be servant. So he brought Lord Ram's Paduka back from the forest and he kept it on the Simhasana and worshipped it with flowers and Aarti worship every day. And everything he did. So because he wanted to serve, he got the Paduka of the Lord. Whereas Kaikeyi wanted to enjoy, she only became widow and Dasharatha's life was also lost. And all the Ayodhyavasis became broken-hearted. She neither could become happy herself, nor could she make anybody happy. On the other hand, Bharat, he could get the Paduka of the Lord as a blessing and he could make all Ayodhyavasis happy. And by his loyalty to Ram, he showed a very high character for all the world to learn. Can see that. So, he was complete in the mood of a servant. So, actually in this way, what we are all trying to do now at the moment, when we read Prabhupada books, we should learn the way Prabhupada speaks the concepts, the examples, the analogies. For example, here I have written, please read it, somebody.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Preaching with knowledge. Knowledge of Krishna's ownership, controllership, and enjoyership.
Next one.
Knowing sense gratification is poison. If sense gratification is attractive for us, how will we save them?
Yeah. So now, for example, a preacher is telling that sense gratification is poison to the students. Students are asking, sir, why do you say poison? It's very enjoyable. How do you say it's poison? And the preacher says, see, I'm not saying the books are saying. I read the spiritual books, I just read it and I'm telling you, please kindly don't misunderstand me. If somebody says, that means he has no realization of what he is speaking. So when we have no realization of what we are speaking, then we ourselves will be attracted to things which we are telling others to give up. Correct, no? So now in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I'm going to ask all of you a question now. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yone evate adyantavantak kaunteya nate usharamate buddha. Krishna is telling, if you bring the senses in contact with sense objects, that is the source of all pain, he says. For example, sense object is gulab jamun. Sense is the tongue. I contact the gulab jamun to the tongue. Is it a source of pain? It's a source of pleasure. Why Krishna is saying the opposite? What is the answer? Who can give? Yeah?
Because you will get attracted to that vasana. Your mind will remember that, and your mind will keep on asking the same thing again and again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means, say for example, one gulab jamun I ate, mind is little eager for. So what's wrong? If I eat one more, I become more happy. I become more jolly, isn't it?
So we become
See, instead of giving you one gulab jamun, you ask for one more, they give you a second one. Will you not be happy? So what's the problem in becoming more happy?
There's a limitation.
Okay.
we will become we will become addicted to our
We'll only
sense
be miserable.
Become attached, and it will take to the greed, then again lust, and at the end we will be getting forgetfulness. And
see, we become greedy to eat more. If you eat 2, 3, 4, 5, our mind says, eat more, eat more, eat more. Until the point you start getting stomachache. Like one boy ate samosa, it was so fine samosa, crispy samosa here. He liked it, he ate a dozen samosas. And next day he had a severe stomach pain. That means if you eat a lot, you get stomach pain. If you don't eat, you ate only one, then you get tempted to demand more and more. It's like a pendulum. This side you go, if you eat more and more, you get stomach pain. If you eat only one gulab jamun, it has spoiled your tongue now. You want to eat more and more. So either way we get suffering. Here there is suffering of hankering. Here there is suffering of, here is frustration. Yeah. Here you get frustration, here you get hankering. So therefore Krishna says you give up the hankering. If you give up the hankering, then you get frustration also is gone, hankering is also gone. Na shochati, na kankshati. Shochati means lamentation arising from frustration. Kankshati means hankering. He says you can give, for that you have to become Brahma Bhuta. Right now we are called Jiva Bhuta. Jiva Bhuta can become Brahma Bhuta when he gives up the hankering and lamentation. And that hankering and lamentation is given up how? Understanding that the senses and sense objects, when you bring them in contact, initially there is happiness, but eventually there is suffering. Like initially it's like nectar in the beginning, poison at the end, he says. Whereas spiritual life is opposite. He says, poison in the beginning, nectar at the end. Can any of you say why Krishna says this? Why spiritual life is poison in the beginning, nectar at the end, he says? Anybody?
Because we are so habituated to a sense gratification, initially can't relish the taste in the spiritual activities.
Correct.
But once we start developing the taste, it's like never-ending Anandabhudivardhanam, as Mahaprabhu says.
Exactly. So in the beginning, spiritual life appears to be like very bitter. Like he says, in the Upadeshamrita, he says, Syat Krishna Nama Charitati Sitapya Vidya Pitto Pataptara Sanasana Rochikanu. He says, like when your tongue is affected by jaundice, even the sugarcane juice is very bitter. Actually, sugarcane juice is never bitter, but the tongue is bitter. But when the disease is gone from the tongue, then it becomes tasty. Or the taste of the sugarcane juice is realized by the individual. So spiritual life is always nectar, but we find it, like you rightly said in the beginning stage, we are covered over. We find, like, rising early in the morning is painful, chanting 16 rounds is painful, and saying no to certain things which we are told to follow, that is painful in the beginning. But eventually you become very happy over the period of time. Like all of you think for a moment, in a winter season, chill, cold winter, you are covering yourself with thick blankets. You peep through the window and it's a foggy day in the morning, So you don't feel like getting up. Do you get pleasure or not under the blanket?
Yes, Prabhu.
You get pleasure, isn't it? Now you throw away the blanket, you rise from the bed, put on the lights, go to the bathroom and take a shower, and then put on your dhoti kurta and put tilak. And then sit in the puja room, you find it's like 5 o'clock now, and you chant the holy names. Now are you happy or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So how is it that both are happy? What is the difference between that previous happiness and this happiness? Who can say?
Material happy, spiritual happiness. Material happiness.
Okay,
that is tamoguna happiness. This is sattva-guna happiness.
Correct. That's what I expected. Tamoguna happiness and sattva-guna happiness. So tamoguna happiness comes from lethargy, laziness. Like a pig in the ditch is also happy. And a pig is in the gutter and he's eating stool, he's very happy also. Prabhupada says he's happy, therefore he's fat, he says. But his happiness is arising from tamoguna. But sattva-guna happiness is much higher than tamoguna happiness. There you are clean. That happiness comes from cleanliness. Both cleanliness of the body and cleanliness of the mind. That gives happiness. So we should... so what does it take us to go from the tamoguna happiness to the sattva-guna happiness? Yes, anybody?
Knowledge, Guruji, knowledge.
Chanting.
Okay.
Knowledge, chanting, prasadam.
Okay.
Association.
Association of powerful devotees inspires us to commit ourselves to come to sattva-guna. And also knowledge also awakens. You understand, when you get knowledge, oh, this is pig's happiness, I don't want. I want, cow is sattva-guna. So I want to go to your elevated happiness. You get the knowledge. Knowledge actually helps to lit up the mind. Knowledge helps, association helps. That's true.
Prayer.
Yeah, in this way
Once we get the knowledge, we do prayers.
Once actually the knowledge arises, then. So therefore, now coming back to the statement, knowing sense gratification is poison is theoretical, but eventually you will be able to explain to the audience in a very convincing manner that sense gratification is poison. For example, can any of you tell me what are the ill effects of breaking the 4 regulative principles? Ill effects.
Vaishnava Parad.
Vaishnava, I think you didn't hear me well. I am talking about what are the ill effects of breaking the 4 regulative principles.
Basically, our intelligence becomes weakened.
Yeah.
And if intelligence is weakened, we'll not be able to have a control on the mind and we'll be running behind the senses. By the following the 4 regulative principles, the intelligence gets sharpened and empowers so that the soul is in control of the body and in the mind. Good. Otherwise, mind is controlling the intelligence.
That's very good. Yeah, that's very nice. I agree with you. At the same time, when we are teaching students, when we are talking about what you said is very true. Intelligence becomes weakened when we do sense gratification, and mind goes berserk, and we lose control in life, and all that is true. Actually, our sense gratification brings, there are 5 ill effects of sense gratification, breaking the 4 regulative principles. For example, the very first thing you will see, if somebody chews tobacco, they get ulcers in the mouth. Somebody drinks liquor, they get liver cirrhosis. Somebody, smokes cigarette, they get lung cancer. Somebody indulges in illicit behavior with opposite sex, they can get 25 sexually transmitted diseases. So you can see that every one of these activities, it leads to suffering. You can see that. Physical suffering and emotional suffering also. Physical and emotional suffering. That's the first one. Second one, after you get the suffering, you run to the doctor. Of course, you have to spend money for the doctor's bill also. Correct, no? So that is the second suffering you get, because you have to spend a lot of money for the doctor. Not only that, the third thing is, none of these items come for free. The cigarette come free, the liquor come free, does illicit sex come free. For all these things, one has to spend money. Therefore, the first thing is spending money for sense gratification. Number one. Number two, getting enormous pain by purchase. We are actually purchasing pain by spending money. Imagine you go to a shop and you pay money to ask him to, hit you on the head with a hammer. It's like that. How foolish it is. You are spending money and purchasing pain. Thirdly, going to a doctor and spending on the bill for the doctor. And fourthly, many of these breaking four legs involve police. Can somebody connect how breaking four legs can bring police? Any example?
If you are intoxicated with wine and all, there is a possibility you can misbehave with others, and in turn that person might lodge a FIR and he can get arrested.
Correct.
Intoxication.
Accident can happen. Accident can happen. Yeah, correct. If you don't drink and drive, they say, no. If you drink and accident can happen. So police is involved. Yeah. Any other reason police involved in any other breaking of the rule? If somebody is doing
drugs.
Yeah, drinks certainly. Already we gave example of the accident.
Drugs also. Drugs addicted.
Drug peddlers are arrested also. Drug peddlers. Very true. Arrested by the police. Correct. Because they do it for money making and they are arrested by the police. Correct. Also those who do illicit sex, they will be caught and put behind the bars. Or they may be shot also. Sometimes they may be shot by the relatives of the woman. When they see that this person has indulged in illicit relation, you find that they may be attacked, or their bones may be broken, or they may be shot. There is a risk also. So these are the fourth pain. And the fifth pain comes after death. Anybody knows what is it? What is the pain which comes after death?
Suffering in the next body through karma.
And even before you get the next body, Yamadutas will come in between. So who remembers the 5 pains you get by engaging in sin?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, 1?
Yeah. Physical and emotional pain.
That's
emotional
true.
Suffering, Prabhuji.
Correct. That's one of the
financial. There's a financial suffering. So those who are when they go through the financial pain, they'll try to go in to take a wrong ways to earn money so that they can complete the needs of their financial suffering.
They will do that also. That leads to more complication.
And you are purchasing pain by
spending.
Breaking the regulatory principles.
Correct.
And involvement of the police in breaking the regulatory principles.
Yes.
And then finally Yamadutas will be.
Yeah. And also doctor's bill. Doctor's bill also. Actually, one money you spend to purchase the sin, and the second money you give it to the doctor. That's two financial dealings. Like purchasing a liquor bottle, money is required. But after drinking liquor bottle, you have to give bill to the doctor. That is a separate bill. And then the pain of drinking. So in this way, you can show that sense gratification is poison. That's hence proved. In all these are breaking the 4 legs are actually sense gratification, and that is actually poison. That leads to suffering. Yeah, please read this one. Third one, Sambandha Jnana. It is actually the most confidential Jnana. Anybody knows what is Sambandha Jnana? Anybody can say? You must have heard about this. Sambandha Jnana.
Relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay. That is one of the aspects of Sambandha Jnana. Anybody else can add to what Prabhuji said? Satya Prabhu said?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sambandha is to know about who you are who is the Supreme Lord and what is my relationship with the Supreme Lord.
Correct. And this is one aspect of Sambandha Jnana. There is little more than that also. Because
Hare Krishna.
yeah, go ahead.
The constitutional position of all jivas is to be the servant of the Lord.
Perfect. You all three of you have concurred in your answers. It's a very similar answer you all have given. I'm happy with your answer because your answer is correct. But there is some more additional aspect is there in Sambandha Jnana. It's like a tripod, a triangle. Huh? That means, the Jiva, Maya and Krishna. The Sambandha between all these three. Huh? So, can anybody tell me the Sambandha between Maya and Jiva? Any Bengali shloka, Sambandha between Jivatma and Maya Devi? Anybody knows any shloka? You heard this shloka? Krishna Boliya say Jiva Bhogavancha kare Nikatastha Maya tare Japati yadhare. You heard this? Huh? He says that Krishna Boliya, after having forgotten Krishna, Krishna Boliya says Jiva Bhogavancha kare. He wants to enjoy separate from Krishna. Maya Japati yadhare. Maya captures him immediately. Just like a thief is trying to steal somebody's property. Government arranges a police to catch and handcuff him. Huh? Both the hands are handcuffed and put behind the bars like that. This is one shloka. There's one more verse in Bengali. Krishna Boliya say Jiva Anadi Bahir Mukha Atayeva Maya Deya Samsara Dukha. It is said. Anybody knows the meaning of this?
Turned away from Krishna.
When the Jiva has turned Bahirmukh, turned away from Krishna, then?
Gets slapped by Maya.
Then Maya Devi gives him threefold miseries. Threefold misery is the Trishul. Maya comes when the Jiva turns away from Krishna. So this is relationship between Maya and Jiva. Okay, now more easy question I'll ask you. What is the relationship between Maya and Krishna? Any shloka you remember in Bhagavad Gita? Maya and Krishna.
Maya Chakshena.
Correct. 9.10. Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. That is 9.10. Maya Adhyakshena. Krishna is the Adhyaksha for Maya. That's very correct. Thank you, Prabhu. One more verse about Krishna Maya relationship.
Mama Maya Duratya.
Correct. Correct. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Perfect answer. What is that verse? Full verse. Anybody knows the full verse? You all have finished Bhakti Shastri, I think now. You will know by heart now. Any verse? That Mama Maya, what is that verse?
Daivi
Daivihyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Etam Tarantite. So, yeah, Krishna says that Mama Maya, Maya is mine. You see, there is a big difference between Christianity and Krishna consciousness in this aspect. In Christianity, Christians think that the Maya is an enemy of the Lord and sometimes tries to even tempt Jesus also. They think like that. Whereas our Vedic scriptures say that Maya is not enemy. Maya is one of the departments of Krishna. Just like, police department or, in this world is also one of the departments of the government. It's under the government. Similarly, Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshan Prakriti. Maya is under me. Not that Maya can overpower me. Maya can never overpower Krishna at all. So, Mama Maya Duratya. Krishna says, my energy only. Like government, Prime Minister can say that police department is my energy. Like that he says. Okay, now what is the relationship between Krishna and Jiva? That's even more easy. Any one or two slokas you can say, Krishna and Jiva?
Jivera Swarupa Krishna
Correct. Jivera Swarupa Hoye Krishna Nityadas. Krishna Tatastha Shakti Beda Beda Prakash. So this is a famous verse. Many of them told me in the beginning of the question of Sambandha Jnana. Sambandha between Krishna and Jiva is Das, Krishna is boss. That Sambandha should be known to people, correct? There's one more verse in Bhagavad Gita. Let me see who can say that. Sambandha between Krishna and Jiva. Yeah? Correct. I think who Anuradha Premati said that? Mamai Vamsho.
Yes, sir.
Mamai Vamsho, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All the Jivas are my Amsha. Krishna says, very good. And there's one more verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, that how are the jivas related to him besides this? Anybody? Correct. 14.4 Bhagavad Gita. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahat yonir aham bija pradahapita. He's saying, I am the seed-giving father of all living beings. So in this way, these three tripod, if you see, Krishna at the top, there is Maya, there is Jiva. Sambandha between Krishna and Jiva, Jiva and Maya, Maya and Krishna, if you know, then you know Sambandha Jnana. You have complete understanding of the Sambandha Jnana. Very good. Practically, you all answered all the Sambandha Jnana related questions you answered very nicely. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this to Sanatana Goswami. Okay, from Jnani Bhakta to Rasika Bhakta. What is the difference between a Jnani Bhakta and who is a Rasika Bhakta? Who can say?
The devotee who is more inclined to gain knowledge. And from that stage to going to a stage where he is actually experiencing the Krishna Prema.
He is feeling devotion to Krishna, feelings for Krishna. He is my lovable Lord and he is liking his pastimes and he is grateful to Krishna. He is able to see the heart of Krishna, loving relationship with Krishna. Whereas Jnani Bhakta means he is an intellectual guy. He may study many scriptures, he may quote also many scriptures, but he doesn't feel any special affection or attraction to Krishna. So, most of us educated people, what comes naturally for us? Jnani Bhakta type or Rasika Bhakta type?
Jnani Bhakta type. To start with.
So, yes, we tend to be like intellectual type. Like we generally think Krishna has the key to Goloka in his hand. So, I will chant Hare Krishna and take the key and then open Goloka and go and relax there. We tend to think like that actually. On the other hand, we should know that the purpose of going to Goloka is to meet my lovable Lord Krishna and eternally love and serve him. So, how can educated devotees acquire that simplicity of heart like the innocent bhaktas who have great devotion in their heart? So, what are the stumbling blocks and how can we overcome them? Anybody?
Associate more with the devotees, probably senior devotees, and spend time, hear Krishna Katha, and follow the orders of our spiritual master.
Okay. So when we are hearing...
And also visiting the places like Madura and Vrindavan, such kind of places.
Visiting the holy places and hearing the pastimes of the Lord there, which happened there. And also hearing about the qualities of Lord, like, Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala Govinda, he is Anatha Rakshaka, he is Apad Bandhava, so when we hear about his pastimes and qualities, our heart will soften, then our attraction for him will increase. Okay. Yes, Prabhu, Praveen Prabhu?
Prabhuji, service, doing service to temple and then programs that will also...
Our service actually purifies
spontaneous love.
Correct. The service purifies the heart and heart softens and it melts and it brings us one more step closer to Krishna. Correct. And at the same time, I have a question. Okay, somebody says, I am a Rasika Bhakta, I don't need any knowledge. What would you say?
If he's thinking like that, Prabhu, he's not actually Rasika Bhakta, Prabhu. If that thinking or that attitude is developed, he is not. He should be always in a servant of the Lord mode.
Yeah. But he says that I naturally love Krishna. You guys are all jnani guys. You are all intellectual guys. I am not like you. I am a Rasika Bhakta. I just fall in love with Krishna. That's all. Like that he says. I don't have to read Prabhupada books. I don't have to read Bhagavatam.
Sentimentalism, Prabhu.
He can become sentimental. He may have blind faith. There's one verse which says that Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatriki Vidimbina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. If somebody does not study Shruti Smriti Purana, all these things, then his bhakti will be blind faith and it will cause utpat in society. Such people eventually become cheaters also. So we should cultivate knowledge, but that knowledge should not harden our heart. We should cultivate knowledge in such a way that the knowledge will soften our heart. So how do we do that? For that we have to create the Sambandha Jnana, we have to cultivate. based on the Sambandhingan, we should do Abhideya, like our Praveen Prabhu said that point. When you do Abhideya means devotional service. After acquiring knowledge, render seva. When you render seva, the heart will soften because the heart will get purified. And also hear the pastimes of the Lord by traveling to holy places. Like there is a song which is, he says that Gaura Amara Sesabastane Koralo Brahmana Range Sesabastana Herivoami Pranayi Bhakata Sange. He's saying that I will travel to all the holy places where Lord Chaitanya has traveled, but I will not travel alone. I will travel with Premi Bhaktas, with devotees who can describe those places with beautiful pastimes. And by hearing the pastimes from them, my affection for Krishna will increase. Like that. So we need both knowledge as well as love for Krishna. Both we need. And then, therefore, in our movement, Prabhupada is called Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti means love for Krishna. Vedanta means knowledge. So Prabhupada's name combines both. We call it as rekindling wisdom, reviving love. Both are required. So, and what is our Bhagavatam talks about zeal for preaching. So, when we talk about preaching with knowledge, not only we should cultivate knowledge, we should have a zeal for preaching. So, what is the basis of that zeal? Somebody can say?
Enthusiasm, Prabhuji.
Okay, if one's own, it could be one's own enthusiasm. Any other reason?
Internal purification, Prabhu.
Internal purification.
Okay, the more you become purified, you get the zeal for preaching. Okay. Actually, the main zeal comes from compassion for the suffering souls. You all know that in the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj heard about the 28 types of hells and he started crying. In the beginning of 6th canto, he said, "Oh, great sage Shukadeva Goswami, how can all the suffering jivas be saved from the 28 hells? Please tell me." So, we also should feel pity for the suffering souls. Like we say, Yasvanubhavam akila shtuti saramekam adhyatma deepam atitirshatam tamondham samsarinam karunayaga purana guhyam tam vyasa sunum upayami gurum muninam. He's saying samsarinam karunayaha, he's saying. Shukadeva Goswami felt great compassion for the samsari people, those who are materialistic minded, and because of their compassion, he spoke Bhagavatam, he says. So, all of us preachers, do we have natural compassion or we don't feel compassion? What do you think?
We should have. Yes, Prabhuji, we should.
No, we know we should have it.
We have compassion.
Yeah, we should have it. But when we go for preaching, what are our motivations in going for preaching? One boy was telling, "Prabhuji, my English will improve if I go to give classes in English." One boy was telling. Another boy was telling, "Why do you go to preach?" He said, "Prabhuji, I am trying to prepare for GRE TOEFL. I am going abroad. I want to get used to English." And somebody is saying, "Why do you preach?" "Prabhu, I like to influence other people by my powerful talk. I want to be a TED talker one day." Everybody has different motivations in speaking. Let us take some of your internal motivations which you all felt when you were sent for preaching. Quickly. Don't think too much. If you think too much, you will give a beautiful answer you will give. Quickly tell. Whatever is in the surface of your mind, cut like that. Yeah. Yes?
Knowledge and
wanting to help.
Yeah, share my knowledge and also the others also will be happy.
Very good. Very good. And then anyone else?
Wanting to help.
Yeah?
Wanting to help.
Wanting to help others. Very good. And then
improve taste towards scriptures.
Improve?
Taste towards scriptures.
Okay. Increase our taste towards the scriptures. That's also very good. That's also very nice.
Self-purification.
Okay. Self-purification. Very good. Self-purification is wonderful also. Yeah. Okay.
Introduce Bhagavad Gita.
Which one?
Introduce Bhagavad Gita to all.
You want to introduce Bhagavad Gita to as many people as possible. Very good.
Yes.
That's also
Prabhuji was asked.
Prabhupada asked us.
Prabhupada has told us to do. Very good.
Yeah. Prabhu, my answer would be asked by my Shiksha Guru.
Yes. So, you have been asked by your Shiksha Guru to go and preach, so I would like to preach. Very good. That's also very wonderful. You have been ordered by our superiors to preach. I will add one more to all these things. I want to please my superiors. I want to please my Guru and please Prabhupada, please Krishna. So now we heard many answers.
As I got benefited through preaching only, I got benefited through preaching by my friend. The same way I have to give the same to the others also.
Exactly.
So that they will also get benefited.
Exactly. Very good. Somebody gave me a Prabhupada book, so I also should give Prabhupada book to others. Somebody preached to me and made me a devotee. I also will preach and make others devotees because I have received and now I should give. It's my turn to give. Like for example, if you are a tree, somebody is watering the tree grows up, sucking the water, taking the fertilizer, everything. After growing big, you should give contribution also. You should give flowers, fruits, branches, leaves, twigs, everything you should give. So we have received now. In the beginning, the tree is receiving. Then it should be giving. We should give also. Good point. Thank you. So you all said all the points are right, what you said. But if you are in Sattva Guna, then you can have two goals. Purification of heart and pleasing Guru. And these two should be the goal. In Sattva Guna, you want to purify the heart. In Vishuddha Sattva, you want to please Krishna and Guru. These two are the topmost goals for which we are preaching. And of course, we want to relieve the suffering souls, reclaim the suffering souls and send them back to Godhead. Prahlad Maharaj said, Shoche tato vimukha chetasa indriyartha. I don't want to leave the suffering souls here. I want to send them all back, he says. So we don't have compassion, but we can work for the compassionate mission of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has compassion, but we can actually work on his behalf and Guru's behalf. Please read the next line. Last line.
Direct soft-heartedness towards saving drowning souls, not just the material bodies.
Yeah. And then one more.
Relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, else it's only the mundane compassion.
Yeah, correct. So now I will stop with this for today and I'll continue in our next meeting. We have exceeded the time. But you all did a very good participation today. Many nice, brilliant answers came out. So we are in the preaching with knowledge. Next time we will talk about preaching with compassion also. And then preaching with knowledge, conviction and compassion. How the conviction builds, what is the science of building conviction? That we will talk in the next meet. So we haven't come to bridge preaching yet. We are just getting ready for that. And then the PowerPoint will show you bridge preaching will come very soon. Because with this background, then the bridge preaching we can do very effectively. Because many times when we go to the audience, should we speak what we want to give or should we speak what they want to hear? But actually we should give what is good for them ultimately. So we will talk about that more in the next session I come. This was warming up session. Next time it will go faster. We will do it. Okay? Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha pattanam There is one hand up. I am seeing one hand up. Who is that? Satyadev Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Please tell me.
Sorry. Prabhu, I have one question. Like earlier you mentioned about book distribution. So is it a good way to give books free? When you said no, if anybody wants to take it for free.
Actually, Prabhupada says if you give the book free, they take it very cheaply. But in India also, if you give a book and say, give whatever donation you want to give, you can accept.
Okay.
If they pay a small donation also, they will feel that I have paid for this. Let me see what is inside. They'll open and see. Prabhupada said. Otherwise, if you give free, they take it very cheaply. They throw it here and there.
Okay.
Thank you. I will talk about that also, book description next time when we talk our next topic. Thank you. Hari Bol.